that button, that button. And we're go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in the bottom left of the Blistering Red Sands, we have Glioper playing as the purple Wings of Coronia. We have Alstar in the top right playing as the yellow Cycle, fresh straight out of the toilet, having gotten rid of all of his worries and left them in the bowl. So, Blistering Red Sands. Not Pipeline Problem. Pipeline Problem has, in fact, been banned. And a very naval-focused map. The Psychor pick is unsurprising. The Wings of Coronia one is a bit out of left field, but not totally uncalled for. But it does depend a lot on Glio surviving until the late game, which is going to be entertaining for phone on this map. It's a fairly low economy-ish map, especially when your tech refineries out here for where your main income is are so far out and neither side can teleport their miners across. Alstar will probably have naval domination, especially because his tier 2 unit, the Marauder, is amphibious. Glio may be looking to take advantage of Jackal races exceptionally early on, but that remains to be seen, as both sides race to garrison their relevant tech bunkers. Glio having secured the left-hand side. Alstar hasn't secured the town on the right, however, and it looks like Glio is going to take full advantage of that and at least try to garrison one of them, but not anymore. Which is interesting. Alstar's just going to respond by garrisoning another one instead. If he garrisons this one here, he can just force Glioper out of the town. It opens up. And Alstar will be in a position to successfully take over his town. Though he can't hit that garrison from there. Yep, he leaves. Slowly moving around. And instead opts to garrison that structure instead. Okay. As we see a single Night Frame pick off 2 engineers at the same time. Unfortunate. Trying to be sneaky here, trying to take that off him and his oil derrick. But he is, however, spotted. Gatling tank comes up. Alstar can actually force Glioper out of this building here with the Gatling tank, with the +2 range advantage from high ground. But Alstar chooses not to. I think he may be trying to snipe the tech refinery. What is he up to? Moves a Spook in an effort to try and scout the area out. Spook dies. I don't think it saw this building. I think Alstar's blissfully unaware at the fact that this town is actually mostly open. And here we're starting to see the first Jackal races out, accompanied with Lancers as well. Glio can quite happily afford this. Alstar, however, is on tier 2 and starting to manufacture Marauders. Single Jackal Lancer out there, forces the Gatling tanks to retreat. My headset's falling off. However, Alstar almost certainly sees this happening in his base. No more Jackals, but that is quite the number. As we only have 2 Marauders to respond to this. Now, there is Cloudpiercer on the field, so it won't be too long until Spinblade occurs, at which point these Marauders will be outrun by the Jackals. Alstar sees them. And it looks like Glio's just going to take out the bunker first. Does decent damage to that Jackal though, most of its hit points are gone. And there goes the oil derrick. There we go. Looks like he's going to pull back, pick up some more repairs, as Alstar decides to double down on the Marauder spam. Absolutely the right call here. Glio not taking his foot off the brake though, still pumping out infantry, pumping out, going for a second MCV, okay. But considering how Glio basically has a significant, well, he doesn't have map presence, but he has high map mobility, he can pretty much go anywhere he wants and keep Alstar on the defensive. So second MCV for Glio is actually a very nice call. Alstar working on Radar Spire. And Glio's just going to blow up this tech refinery here. Okay, absolutely no chill. Fair call, fair call. He's not occupied his own, however, so both of these ore fields are going to go unused for some time, as Alstar starts wanting to make his presence known and felt. Here come the Marauders. They will now just start picking away at the phone infantry blob. And it looks like Glio's response is to deploy the MCV and slap a railgun tower at the problem, which it massively injures them. Jackals go in, completely bypassing the Marauders. Risen Monolith comes down. Another Marauder just evaporates, but its Spin Blade has worn off. They don't get the bioreactor. And these Jackals are forced away. They're boxed in by the Marauders and they can just clean up. That's an expensive loss for Glio. Ooh, he's gonna lose all but one of them. A good maneuver, but ultimately I don't think that was worth it. As now the initiative for maneuver warfare falls within Alstar's hands as Glio concentrates around the single railgun tower, as his choice is to simply spam out to Dracos and basic phone infantry. I think he's going to play this slightly similar to how Abdo played it with Euro Alliance on Obsidian Knoll. As Alstar hits tier 3, the single Jackal Lancer comes back, but Libra is on the field, and Alstar sees it. Yep, that's going to be very dead. But it's going to get the Marauder, which is not an insignificant kill, to be honest. So for a single Jackal Lancer against a Marauder, what? It's 1300 versus what, 1000, but that's still a worthwhile kill. Tier 3 out for Glioper now, and he's starting to run out of cash. He's captured the tech refinery. Alstar will know about that. He has seen it, I think, but he's choosing not to attack it. As Glioper looks to basically just lock down this entire area with railgun turrets. He gets one Minemite, doesn't hang around though. Picks up a second mite. As here come the Tarkia's cannons. Alstar's going to need to come up with something, and he's going for the naval shipyard. He's decided that the Recef will be his ticket out of here. As there's no naval from Gliopo either, if he's able to hide the naval yard out in the corner somewhere, probably here, then he should be able to sufficiently catch Glioper off guard. He's going to try and snipe Eureka with Libra. Doesn't work out very well. The Tarkia picks Libra off. That's an impressive shot. Gentlemen, do my eyes deceive me, or do I see repulsors in Alstar's army? I see repulsors. Hang on. Just prove to you. Everyone can see it. We have 3 repulsors in Alstar's army. God knows how he's going to try and use them. But he's going to want to be careful not to get shelled at by the Tarkias. Here comes Eureka. She threatens the retreat. Alstar does have synth faults. We can Shadow Ring. But the question is that I don't think he can afford to. He's going to get cloning bats down, but then after that he has to move his MCV as a simple matter of fact. because he's used up his main base resources now. He has a single reset, he's making some more, but all of this is extremely expensive. He doesn't have the long distance mining will not generate him enough cash, whereas Glio, the refinery is right there, he can mine that for days, get away with it. So Alstar's going to try and pick off a Mine. Does get it, doesn't get the second one though. He's going to move in, take advantage of the Tarkia cannon reset, but uh-oh, careful, careful, careful! Okay, that could have gone horribly, horribly wrong for a minute there, but ultimately did not. Now, where's that reset gone? There's a second one. What happened to the first? There he is. Whilst the middle is static, something stirs beneath the waves. Now, what's he going to target first? The tier 3 or the MCV? So you got to wait for his buddy to get here. I think he's going to wait for his buddy to get there. No rush. The front line is relatively stable. I don't know what was killed there, but I think that may have been one of the repulsors. If not all three, because I no longer see them on the map. Reset slowly moving out, making their presence known. We have holograms out here. Of course, Alstar doesn't really know. Well, he knows that now, but he's overreacting. But he's gonna bring them down anyway, as these jackal racers pick off something for free, as Libra finishes off that holographic Pteranodon. Recess is slowly moving into position. How does Alstar win this game? Eureka attempts, but unfortunately does not succeed to get rid of the Marauders. Oh, these are Zorbs, okay. They do pick up Libra. Careful, Alstar, careful. Almost catches the tail end of that Marauder force. There's no more recess, so these two are it. So it is very much a question of what does Alstar target first, but he's a little busy making sure he isn't brutally murdered by Eureka. As here comes the massive Draco force. They go for the tier 3. And they get something, they get the Nano Loom too. And they're gonna start on the war factories. The Dracos move in down here for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. We see a fucking Basilisk, there we go. In an attempt to try and catch Eureka out. He unfortunately fails, but it's a worthwhile attempt, and he gets her to fuck off. And he's able to just kite out the Draco tanks, but he's gonna want to be careful with the Draco drones. There's a lot of drones spawning. As these bloody... what the hell are they called? The Recefs have cleared out most of the base. Glioper responds by moving his MCV up to high ground. As we see more Basilisks come out. Not very often you see Basilisks, but they do work as infantry crowd control. The response for Glioper here is to make Teratons, the only response he has at Vehicular Tier 1. As most of Glioper's base backline starts to evaporate down to 2 Recefs. Oh dear, we're going to see large crush action happening now in an attempt to dive the Marauders, but ooh, that's not gone terribly, but this isn't great either. Alstar's gonna want to watch Eureka for now, and he's gotta be careful with the Marauders because those Draco drones are absolutely mincing them. Eureka's gonna go down to the sheer mass of flak fire, trooper fire here. But that's a Libra clone, that's not the real Libra. This has gone pretty badly for Alstar, and Glioper has absolutely made bank on this one. The question is this salvageable for Alstar with the loss of his army? He has 10k, he's making more Marauders. Those Draco drones were absolutely lethal. Libra back back on the field, but I don't know how much that's going to change. This is a brutal situation to be in. Now we see a man-jet transport. Unfortunately, against Coronia, man-jetting your MCV over to the islands is not exactly the play to make because Coronia targets are amphibious. So ultimately, I'm not sure what Alstar's trying to accomplish here with the technical win. And Glio's response will be to just move inland. These resets aren't exactly going to be able to do it. He's ignoring the reprocessor for now. But I don't think the man-jet technical win is the play to make here. Oh, no, the night frames clear off. Does get a barracks. That looked like a painful reprocessor as the Terratons clean up the invaders. As it looks like Glioper's just going to walk in the front door here. These viruses aren't going to be enough. As everybody and everything dies. Alstar trying to escape to the edge of the map, but there's a captured oil derrick there. Glioper knows. Glioper knows. Yeah, Alstar calls GG. Banking on the technical win for the MCV was absolutely the wrong call here, as everything from Alstar evaporates in one instant.